Next business that'll be pitching, 5 minutes, Foodle. Okay, let's hear it for them, making their way on stage.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anton, and as you may guess, I am from Foodle. And to start with traction, I want to show you this. Now, when you're all paying attention and you know our goals for the next year, please let me take you on a trip to China with Pavel, who will be our prodigy today. He is young and, like all of us, he's passionate about modern technologies. He thinks that in China, he'll be able to make up for his language gap with things like Google Translate, TripAdvisor, Foursquare, and he'll be able to get around pretty well. But in a different language environment, is this really going to work? For him, for the first few hours in Beijing, it actually did. He found this beautiful Chinese restaurant on TripAdvisor, checked it out on Foursquare, but when he came in, this is what he got. Language barrier is still the most irritating problem travelers face abroad. It is even worse when it prevents us from fulfilling our most sincere love, the love of food. But, of course, we can't just leave Pavel in there like that. We'll let him discover a Foodle sticker on the table. Now, his menu will look more like that. Foodle builds up on top of current solutions like Foursquare and Locu to make local data available to guests from abroad. With Foodle, restaurants all over the world speak your native language. It works basically by pre-translating all the restaurant menus into 15 languages we support at the moment and enabling users to search for dishes, compare prices, and make orders on the spot. The user sees menu in his native tongue, then presses a button, and it pops up in the restaurant's native tongue so that the waiter can write it down and take an order. The phrasebook works just the same, so Paul will never be left hungry or misunderstood again. And just like he discovered, there are plenty of apps that help guests from abroad find a place to eat. But only few of them actually cater for foreigners on the spot. And Foodle does just that. It works offline also to save you from roaming charges, and the content is translated much better than it is with the mechanic translations like Wordlens or Google Translate. Our business model is fairly simple, enabling wealthy foreigners to pay for the much-needed access to convenience and information. And with over 1 billion people that traveled abroad in 2013 alone, the market potential is pretty decent. How are we going to get there? First, we're partnering with restaurants to put menu holders and stickers to let their clients know that service is available to them. Secondly, we're using Facebook targeted ads where you can actually say that you want to be presented to people that are currently traveling in this city and speaking languages that we are supporting. The team of 16 that we have has executed the product, and it's shipped on iOS and Android, and we are ready to scale it abroad. We have completed Lion Farm program, and we've been preceded with Imperius Group Venture Fund. So we're now basically have 2 cities that we support very well. It's Kiev and San Francisco. We have apps on iOS and Android, so you're all welcome to try it in Kiev. And what we are looking for is smart money to help us scale it abroad. We're planning on conquering Europe within the next few months. And thank you for your attention. If you're interested to taking it further with us, please come talk to me afterwards. And questions, I guess, come now. Thank you.
Yeah. Could you tell us a little bit about the traction, where you are now? I didn't get the 1 million at the beginning, and then at the end, where it really are?
1 million was the goal. It's kind of eye-catcher. We have 500 users currently, mostly in Kiev, because that's where we started. We have launched our app since September, a little less than a month ago. We have about 300 app installs. in Kyiv, mainly. So yeah, that's about what we have. We have about 50 active daily users at the moment.
And why do you think that Just Eat or any apps alike would not add that as an additional feature?
Well, they may, but the thing is that they are there for a while now, and they haven't. Mostly because all the apps and most of the restaurants, they focus on serving locals because that's the main target audience for most of them, while foreigners are sort of like left out because they are rarely more than 5, 10, or 15% of the visitors. So this is not the main interest of the market, but it is a sufficient market, and there are people in need there that go to China, go to different European countries, go to places that don't have menus in English, or that people that don't speak English, and they actually do need this sort of service. Moreover, with markets where Yelp and Foursquare aren't present yet, having the first mover advantage and the technology with good translation present, we will be able to take on that spot in the developing markets.
Okay. Let me help you understand your business. My understanding is the following. You have a foreigner coming into a certain restaurant, he cannot understand the menu, and he would leave otherwise if he doesn't use your service to order something. So there is a cost of translating the menu. Restaurant owner can also translate the menu. For him, for restaurant owner, if he sees he's losing clients, a lot of international travelers coming in, he will spend amount of money to translate the menu, and he will make, I don't know, 20 bucks, 100 bucks from a customer, because the customer will pay and pay him. You will make $1, only $1. So it looks like the burden for you to make it efficient for you to translate the menu is much harder than, is higher than the burden for the restaurant maker to translate the menu. So why do you think there's a lot of restaurants with untranslated menus that clients, international clients will go to and pay your buck to translate?
The thing is that with most restaurants that already have translated menus, they are usually translated in one or few languages, mainly English, or in Europe some maybe German, French. But what we do is we're making use of economies of scale. So by adding, say, there is a unique amount of food items and their names in the world, and we are very close to reaching that amount. So everything we do else, we don't have to do any more translations. We are just adding the same menu items that we already had and linking to translations that we've made before. So being able to serve a decent translation, not in 1 or 2 or 3 languages, but in 15 languages at the moment and more languages further down the road, is actually going to be beneficial for the users. And we're not making restaurants pay for this sort of translation like they would have to do otherwise, because we are basically giving them the tool to, with freemium model, so that they can present the photos of the pictures of their foods, present their menus, their items in different languages, components, descriptions, all the different information. And then people that are in need of that information in a different language are pretty willing, when you go abroad and spend $1,000 on a plane ticket, to spend 99 more cents to have decent restaurants in Kyiv. Because what currently happens is many people go to China and they eat at McDonald's or KFC, just because, I mean, that's the only brands they know, that the place they go. But they want to go elsewhere, but they are really, stuck with that sort of lack of information and lack of convenience that would be very appreciated.
How much of your translation process is automized and technology-based, and how much is human work?
Currently, we are doing it all automatically in the beginning, so that we don't have gaps in translations. And then people go through that Google Translate thing and make sure it's decent and it's grammarly correct and it makes sense, so that we're making use of the technologies, but then people go over it to make sure it's not just some rubbish thing that Google Translate occasionally gives out, especially with complicated menu names. And what we are adding up in this sphere is also a feature of what it was like sort of thing. So imagine yourself going to China and ordering some tonggong that you don't even know what the hell it is, but it turns out it tastes like beef and rice. So you say, oh, well, it tastes like beef and rice. And people that will be ordering after you will be able to see that what other thought it was like, to make that food landscape of the world more data-driven, more customer-friendly, and more friendly to people from different cultures, different mentalities, different sort of cousins, and help them understand what it is like and be safe rather than sorry ordering things abroad. Thank you.